into Skagway on a cruise ship, I want to show you my experience on the White Pass Rail from Skagway all the way into Carcross in the Yukon, which is an extended trip of 8 hours, which is more than the standard 3.5 hour White Pass Rail. It's no surprise that the White Pass Rail is one of the most recommended shore excursions in Skagway, Alaska. What can be a little bit confusing is deciding whether to do a round-trip complete railroad tour or one way on the railroad, one way on the bus, and how far you should go into the Yukon. This is a review of the 8-hour tour all the way to Carcross in the Yukon, including Bennett Lake. This is the view from our ship looking into Skagway, and the train was waiting for us right off the end of the pier. You do have to step up into the train and you'll get this little memento. And as you can see on the map, we're heading from Alaska into British Columbia and then the Yukon territory. This train ride is less about wildlife and more about scenery, history, and the engineering feat of this railroad. As you go up in altitude, you will see drastic changes in the scenery, less forests, more rocks, and low-growing plants. We did need to bring our passports, and the Canadian Mounties did come on board to make sure everybody had a passport. Nobody got kicked off, so we continued on to our first stop at Bennett Lake. There is a tiny train station here, but with working bathrooms, a small museum exhibit, and you get a map of trails that you can check out in the area. Don't miss the opportunity to wander around, check out the Presbyterian Church, and of course, the beautiful lake views. What absolutely amazes me is this list of everything the prospectors needed to carry with them into the Yukon. From there, it was time to get back on our train as we continued our journey to Carcross. This was the boxed lunch that they provided that they handed out after we left Bennett on the way to Carcross. Nothing too special, but it got the job done. When we got to Carcross, the train continued on without us, and we had some free time to explore this little area in the Yukon. It's a sad story about this steamship Tushai, which was built in 1917, and they were doing a whole restoration effort, but it caught fire. We were able to stop and get pictures at signs on our return in the van. When you're dropped off by the Skagway rail station, go inside because they do have some cool exhibits in there. I hope that helped you decide on an excursion. I've been to Alaska for over 5 summers and used to work on cruise ships and been to the ports many times, and I'd be happy to help you plan your next trip. Just reach out and check out all of our other Alaska videos.